We have been listening to a series of dialogues regarding Chicago and New York pizza.
Yes.
There's been a hot debate. I'm calling it a draw is our subtitle.
Yes.
Okay? Now, if you call something a draw, D-R-A-W, are you drawing a picture?
No, you are not.
No.
So draw in this case has the another meaning of being a tie.
Tie.
That it is equal.
Equal.
Yeah.
That's right. No winner,
no winner,
no loser.
but no loser.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you pig out.
Yeah. Means you eat a lot.
Yeah.
You eat like a pig.
Hold a special place in my heart. I like this.
So when you say something holds a special place in your heart, it means you really like something. And it's just that it will always be special to you.
Yeah, like there's that sort of sentimental feeling that goes with it.
It's
too.
not just that you like something. There's like an extra
emotion or
emotion
nostalgia or whatever it is. Okay. And finally, call it a draw, as you said, is like a tie. So I think we can kind of figure out what's going on. Is New York pizza better or Chicago's pizza better? Well, it's a draw.
For this person.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and listen to the dialogue.
Okay, I watched you pig out on the Chicago-style pizza and barely touched the New York-style pizza.
I confess, I really enjoyed it, but it was more like an entire meal than just pizza.
Can you see why it's so popular?
Yeah, I understand the appeal, but New York-style pizza will always hold a special place in my heart.
I liked them both, and since I'm from neither city, I'm calling it a draw.
I'll always be a New Yorker, so it's thin crust for me.
Okay, so Abby begins by saying, okay, I watched you pig out on the Chicago-style pizza and barely touched the New York-style pizza. Now, I want to know, why does she start the sentence with okay, right?
Yeah.
Why does she say, okay, because we think, okay, 맞아, okay. But here she's like, okay, I watched you pig out. It has a very different feel.
Right. So this okay, you will hear native speakers use this a lot. The okay, the starting of a phrase where you're kind of frustrated.
Yeah.
Or there's something you've been wanting to say, and you're like, all right, I cannot hold back anymore. I have to say this.
I have to say this.
I have to, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say that.
That's
Like,
right.
I have waited long enough. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Right. So she's saying, okay, I watched you pig out. Okay? So she's like, I've been watching you.
Yeah.
And I need to say this.
Right.
You have been pigging out on the Chicago-style pizza.
Yes.
Okay, what is he doing with Chicago-style pizza?
With pig out on the Chicago-style pizza, he's been eating a lot of it, like a pig.
Yeah.
Eating a lot of it.
Yeah.
And the reason she used the okay earlier is, if you remember, Robert was a big fan of New York-style pizza.
That's right.
He was like, New York style is the best.
It's the best.
But Abby's been watching him, and she's like, this guy is eating so much Chicago-style pizza, which he said he didn't want to try.
Right.
So that's why she was saying the okay.
Yeah, she's like,
frustration.
this is ridiculous,
Yeah.
right? And you barely touch the New York-style pizza. So if you barely touch your food, it's basically not so much that you're actually touching it, but we use the word touch to also say eat.
Right. In this case, to barely touch it means like you haven't been like literally touching it with your fork and spoon.
Yeah.
Meaning it's not going into your mouth.
Right,
either.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we often hear this like in movies. Oh, you barely touched your food.
Yeah.
What's wrong? Is it? Are you don't have an appetite?
Oh, does it taste bad?
Does it taste bad? Is
Yeah.
something wrong? Right. So what does Robert say?
I confess, I really enjoyed it, but it was more like an entire meal than just pizza.
Okay, so I confess is our power pattern today.
Yeah.
When we hear the word confess, C-O-N-F-E-S-S, we think of this kind of like in a Catholic church, making a confession.
Forgive me, Father, for
Forgive
I
me,
have sinned.
I have sinned. I confess. I did something wrong. So what does this mean, I confess?
So here, he's using I confess to say, truthfully, or like, I didn't want to say this, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to admit. I have to admit something that maybe I didn't want to admit.
Yeah. Okay. So he's saying, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would be good, but I actually really enjoyed it. Okay. And it was like a meal than just pizza because it has a thicker crust.
Yes.
Abby says, can you see why it's so popular? And Robert says, yeah. I understand the appeal, but New York style pizza will always hold a special place in my heart.
Okay.
Yes. So if you understand the appeal, when something is, we see this word appealing, what is appeal?
So here what we're talking about when he says, I understand the appeal, he's saying, I understand why people like it.
Yeah. Why people are attracted to it.
Right. It's not so foreign to me. It's not so strange to me that I cannot understand.
Yeah.
He understands it, but what he says is that New York style pizza has a special place in his heart.
Yes. Okay. So I really like this expression because, and I also do use it, when necessary.
Yes.
So if something holds it's a little long, holds a special place in your heart, what does it mean?
It means that you have a very emotional, sentimental attachment to something.
Right.
That no one or nothing ever be able to change.
Right.
So, for example, I really like Mexican food.
Oh, so do I.
I love Mexican food.
You do.
And there is a restaurant in my hometown that serves Mexican food.
Oh, really?
Yes, that serves it.
Oh.
And that restaurant holds a special place in my heart.
Really?
Because I have all those memories.
Yes.
However, now that I have left my hometown, gone to many big cities, and eaten a lot of
Mexican food,
good Mexican food, I've realized that restaurant has really bad Mexican food. It is not good.
It is terrible.
The quality is terrible. However, the restaurant holds a special place in my heart because there's so many childhood memories that I will always eat that food if I have the opportunity.
Well, poor little Cameron had no choice. That was the only Mexican restaurant. I went to Kansas. And don't ask me why I went to Kansas, but I went to Kansas with my friends. And LA is known for Mexican food.
LA has great Mexican food.
Great Mexican food. I went to Kansas and I'm like, we went to, look, there's a Mexican restaurant. Let's go. Let's have some Mexican food. None of us finished our meal.
Middle of America has the worst Mexican food.
Yes, that's
it's so true. Yeah.
All right, so hold a special place in my heart. Well, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Okay? Okay. Abby says, I like them both, and since I'm from neither city, I'm calling it a draw. So she likes the Chicago and New York, so she's calling it a draw.
It's like, they're even.
It's even. It's
a
the same.
tie.
It's a tie. All right, I'll always be a New Yorker, so it's thin crust for me.
Yes.
Okay? Robert is a New Yorker, so what is he saying? It's thin crust for me.
The thin crust is the type of food that New York style pizza has.
Yeah.
But crust is the bread part of the pizza.
Right.
So in Korean, often you'll choose your dough. Which we only use dough when it's in that panjuk, that uncooked form. Whenever it is now cooked, we would say it's the pizza crust.
That's right. So we say thin crust, thick crust.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time.
Okay, I watched you pig out on the Chicago-style pizza and barely touched the New York-style pizza.
I confess, I really enjoyed it, but it was more like an entire meal than just pizza.
Can you see why it's so popular?
Yeah, I understand the appeal, but New York style pizza will always hold a special place in my heart.
I liked them both, and since I'm from neither city, I'm calling it a draw.
I'll always be a New Yorker, so it's thin crust for me.
It's time for Power Note. We're on pages 136 and 7. Our first expression for review is pig out, which means to eat a lot.
Yeah.
Like a pig, okay? I'm so hungry after the triathlon, I could eat an entire pizza.
Yeah, I think we deserve to pig out for once.
Okay. Yeah.
After a triathlon, yeah, eat what you want.
After a triathlon, my
You deserve
goodness.
it.
Yeah, to pig out. The kids pigged out on candy the day after Halloween.
Yeah.
Those are crazy kids. They're jumping off the walls.
So much energy,
So
I am
much
sure.
energy, yeah.
Is there anything you ever pig out on? Pig out on vegetables? I just
That is
imagine you,
no
Kristen,
fun.
just
That is no fun.
in front of the TV eating cucumbers all day.
No. Okay, I can pig out. I'll tell you what I can pig out on. I can pig out on mandu.
Yeah.
I can just stick those mandu like whole.
Especially the small ones.
The small ones,
The
I can
mini
just
mandu that you just
pop it into my mouth. I know you can pig out on pizza, but is there anything else that you pig out on?
I like chips and salsa. Going back to Mexican food.
Oh, yes.
If there's a good salsa and good chips, that's salty, I can just eat it all the day long.
I think anyone, if you have chips, you can pig out on chips
Yeah.
all day.
Or cheesecake. So one time for my birthday, I had someone buy me a full
a
full
whole
size
cake?
cheesecake. I ate a slice. I put it in my fridge.
Yeah.
15 minutes later, I took it out and cut another slice. Like, I just kept eating the cheesecake. I pigged out on that cheesecake until it was gone.
For like 2 days.
No!
A whole day?
In a few hours.
In a few hours?
I just love cheesecake that much. Cheesecake and carrot cake, if it's in the house,
Oh, honey.
it goes away very quickly.
Honey, I'm like you. That's why that's why I don't have cheesecake and carrot cake in the house. I will finish it. Yes. Okay, so you got some great examples of pigging out. Now, this holding a special place in your heart, the Mexican restaurant in Arkansas holds a special place in your heart. I would say there are a few things that, actually there's like a grocery store from elementary school that my mom and I used to go to. We used to go to 2 grocery stores, one Korean and one regular, like American.
Yeah.
And the American grocery store, it holds a special place in my heart. And when I pass by there when I'm in Koreatown, it's like, like those memories.
It's my supermarket.
Yeah, it's my supermarket, right. Why do you still have that unicorn pen? It doesn't even have ink in it.
My dad gave it to me when I was little, so it holds a special place in my heart.
Yes, and those are the things that you can't throw away.
Yeah.
My old high school still holds a special place in my heart.
Those things that, like, every time you think about it, it just... it just makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So there are certain things. It doesn't always have to be an item.
Okay.
So the smell of cedar wood holds a special place in my heart.
A certain scent.
Yeah, a certain scent.
Yes.
It just reminds me, my family has this old cedar wood box.
Yes.
And I just remember opening it as a child a lot.
I remember that box.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just like, and that smell of cedar holds a special place in my heart.
Right.
Do you have anything else that holds a special place in your heart?
Yeah, well, I mean, usually they're items, but I would say the beach, I guess.
The beach.
Yeah.
Because you were from Santa Monica.
Yeah, I'm from Venice and Santa Monica, so I was raised around beaches most of my life.
Yeah.
So a nice beach especially those beaches hold a special place in my heart.
Something like an actor or an actress. Sandra Bullock holds a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
My sister and my mom watched like every single one of her movies.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
It makes me think of my childhood.
True. Just like with Tom Cruise in Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These kind of things, they can all hold special places in your heart.
I think everyone can relate to this expression.
Yes.
Now, if you call it a draw, it means that, there's no winner or loser, it's equal.
Yep.
We've been playing for 2 hours and neither of us has won yet.
Okay, we'll call it a draw, but I want a rematch next week.
Okay, so there's no winner.
Yep.
It's a draw. After neither team scored during the overtime period, the referee called it a draw. So in the world of sports, this is often the case.
Yeah, and some sports more than others. Soccer, it's called a draw so often.
True.
Whereas most of, like, baseball, basketball,
there is no
tennis, you don't end in a draw. You usually continue on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So depending on the sport.
Depending on the sport.
Okay. Our power pattern today is I confess, which is not really like so seriously used.
Yeah, I admit, or I'm speaking truthfully.
All right. I confess, I didn't expect you to make the team.
Right. I didn't think you
To
had
be
talent,
honest.
to
Yeah.
be honest. Yeah. I confess, I was in love with Sheila from the moment I saw her. Yeah, it was love at first sight.
Love at first sight.
I can't deny it.
I confess, I don't go out a lot.
Ah. You're not a
people
fun
think
person.
Yeah, people think I'm boring. I'm actually quite boring.
You're so boring, Kristen.
I know it. And you
no.
would think that I'm kind of the social butterfly, but I actually like to, stay home.
I do too. I don't go out either. People think I'm very extroverted.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm kind of an introvert, actually.
I'm at home silent.
All right. Okay, so crust is our power vocab. Do check out the definition on page 138. Let's
Yeah.
thank our sponsor.
한국